of noise, from CRTV to Cameroon Tribune and all the plethora of newspapers that have existed, that have been spewing out constructed narrative to keep you enslaved so they can succeed. You must reject those systems and embrace the power of deliverance that takes you out of that state of enslavement to the majestic heights of a free people.
Take you to a majestic height of a free people. I have a question to the people of the Northwest region and the people of the Southwest region of Cameroon. We started with the teachers and lawyers marching. Hypothetically, they had a legit claim to go on the street and demand for their rights. Maybe they wanted an increase in salary. They didn't want Francophones infiltrating their educational system, and the lawyers didn't want the magistrates from the Francophone zone infiltrating their legal system. Let's establish that premise and think. This is the root cause of the problem. While they are out there marching, we are seeing signboards. But the assumption is teachers and lawyers were marching and demanding their rights. When you toil for 7 to 8 years, no nation sides with you, including nations within Africa, do not align with your mission. What does that tell you? Do we step back and evaluate what we are doing, or we assume that we are right in our own eyes and we keep pushing because of the brainwash that we've had from these leaders? I'm not downplaying that we haven't had some struggles in Cameroon. We have struggled as a minority people in Cameroon. I agree. And it is the case with every minority group around the world. If you take this case before an international organization and they said, okay, let's look at the footages. What started all of this? And they go back to watch the footage. And while they see the teachers and the lawyers marching, they see signboards of independence, signboards saying Ambazonian. Do you assume that the people will think it was only about the teachers and the lawyers marching? That is the first question we have to deliberate on. Now, there is a common saying that we had growing up, that if you're taking your bath, a madman comes and pick your cloth. You're left with two options. It's either you hide and look for something to cover yourself, or you run after that madman to get your cloth. While you're running after that madman, if that is the option that you choose, the assumption is now we see two mad people. But if you do not run after that madman and you look for something to cover yourself and then probably get cloth and cover your body, that is wisdom. You running after that madman makes you a madman. You covering yourself and look for cloth to put on your body makes you wise. What am I saying? The teachers and the lawyers went on the street, marching, demanding certain rights within their nation, which is a civil thing to do. Some people choose that option to go on the street and march and say, we want freedom. That is good. The leaders that we see today are not teachers and are not lawyers. They are members of either SCNC or Ambazonian group. Our nation knows this. It is well documented. Anglophones, we started running after these people. Today, we see them as the leaders, giving orders on what should happen on the ground. My question to you is, are these individuals teachers? Are they lawyers? Are they leaders of the lawyers' organization, or are they leaders of the teachers' organization? This is something that we have to reflect on as a people. Because no matter what we say, no matter what we do, no matter what has happened to us right up to this moment, what is wrong is wrong. What is right is right. It doesn't matter who does it. And two wrongs never make a right. For those who are Christians in our beloved nation, I checked before making this video. It indicates approximately 70% of Cameroonians are Christians. 70. Let's assume that in the northwest and the southwest region, we have that same ratio. 70% of Anglophones are Christian, hypothetically. My question to you is, who do you love more? Your fellow Anglophone brother who is not a Christian, or your Francophone brother who is a Christian? Who do you love more? If you believe in Jesus, you believe in God, and if tomorrow there was a situation, who will you choose? I want us to keep watching this video, but it will serve as a point of light for you. What I'm saying on this platform is not ordinary. God called me to liberate our people completely, not from some conditioning and brainwash that we've had over the years that has led to the manifestation of this crisis, which has led us to where we find ourselves today. If what you know, if what you've believed your entire life is the same strategy and path through which God will save you, and then that is not God. I want to repeat that again. In the old, people assumed that this is how God is going to appear. This is how God is going to behave. In the New Testament, do you know why Jesus Christ had a lot of problems with the leaders, the teachers of the law? Their assumption was Jesus Christ was supposed to come like David, have an army, go out there and fight the Roman authorities and kick them out of their territory. But the way he showed up, they could not fathom that. And so they assumed that he was not the one. They killed him, they crucified him. And I have nothing against teachers and lawyers, in particular lawyers. But if you look at all of the movements that have led to pain and suffering of our people, has come from lawyers. The Ambazonian name was invented by a lawyer. The lawyers and the teachers went on the street marching, and it has led us to where we find ourselves today. Stay with me, we are going somewhere. Jesus Christ was opposed by the teachers of the law. I want you to see some correlation, because this is time for you to detach emotionally and not follow dogma, but step back and reason. Today, some people are even mad with Ning John Frundi to the extent that they thought he he should not be buried in Bamenda. Looking at what has played out, the division in the diaspora, CNC group that have emerged and hijacked the legit claim of the teachers and the lawyers, do you today reflect and think for 1 minute that Ninjon was probably right saying, I don't want war? Because individuals will always creep in with selfish motive and mislead people. When you listen keenly to what is going on in Kenya, do you understand what is happening with us right up to this moment? Because now you see the same thing. The Gen Zs went on the street, they were marching, they were demanding certain rights. What happened? Individuals who are members of opposition parties, those who have not yet recovered even from the election, and individuals who are looking at causing division within Kenya, immediately they hijacked the cause. But the government of Kenya is very smart, including the media. I applaud the media team of the people of Kenya. They were able to call some of these ministers of defense and grant them an interview so that they can explain their perspective. The president immediately engaged with his people, said, if you want Twitter, I will go there and have a conversation with the people because I want to hear from our people. And that is legendary. I know for a fact that the president of Kenya is going to help bring this situation to a peaceful end, because they will not let the peaceful protesters go out there to march and someone infiltrates and hijack their movement. And I think the media team in Cameroon, from CRTV to all of the news media outlets in Cameroon, we need to do a better job of engaging those in authority in one way or another, so that they could articulate their perspective on certain decisions that they made in the beginning of this crisis. It would have helped solve the situation. Our people have been misled. And I'm starting this conversation to ask you, where and how did we find ourselves here? To the extent that you think that maybe our president should sit down and discuss with the leaders of the Ambazonian movement. How did we get here? Have you sat for 1 minute and reflected? Agbo, Bala and the rest, we need you guys to sit down on the table and talk with the president on why you guys went on the street marching, because we need to deal with the lawyers and the teachers and why they went on the street in the first place. We will not just say, oh, that is gone and we start dealing with Ambazonian. No, we got to deal with the lawyers and the teachers. No matter what we do, at the end of the day, we need to sit down on the table to talk about the lawyers and the teachers and why they went on the street. This is a democracy. This is how we fix a country. This is how we fix the problem. You cannot be fighting with your brother over a piece of land, and then someone comes in and start talking about your great-grandparents and some story about your great-grandparents, and then now they start fighting you because of that story about your great-grandparents, and then now we start judging the case of our great-grandparents, and we forget the issue of the land that we are dealing with. Does this make sense? And so we come back there. You can distract us all you care. You can do all you can, but at the end of the day, we'll come back on the table and deal with this problem. This is how you make sense of your reality, and you become a logical human being that you are not distracted in life. Because if they can move you like this, then they can move you with anything, and then your life will be meaningless, because anyone can just jump in, take you to one direction, and you start judging the other case, not forgetting why you started. We come back there. We say, no, distract us all you can. And this is what we Anglophones are rising up today, understanding what is going on. We're like, we are not going to be blinded to this. We'll not just be confused about this. We were dealing with a situation here. Can we come back there? Can we come back to this specific situation we were dealing with before we encountered this distraction? That is somebody that reasons. Because Anglophones, what you don't understand is what I'm doing here. I'm trying to restore our image in that nation. If you think for 1 minute that somehow you gain independence right up to this moment, then what you're suffering with, I cannot help. I can't. If you really think so, you believe so, you see these leaders out here, you think so, you think these guys are going to help you, I can't help. I can't. Let's keep listening.
My dear people, we will continue to build the systems of self-governance because we know what is coming. And I'll speak about this in a few moments. It is not enough to talk about freedom. What matters is the alternative that you put in place. And as we fight on a daily basis to liberate the land, we are building that alternative system. So that once you take ownership of that land, there are institutions existing to safeguard the freedom you fought for.
Man, my people, them. I know say.
See, even Hitler had construction projects that he initiated. Even Hitler had education systems that he initiated. But that is not what we are dealing with here. We are dealing with the lawyers and the teachers going on the streets marching. We want the lawyers, we want the teachers. Those are the individuals we should be granting interviews with so that we can look at that problem and solve that problem. If the lawyers and the teachers deemed that if their problems are addressed, there are certain issues within the Anglophone zone that will be solved, that is the first step. Today we sit on the table and we're even talking about federation. We are talking about independence. How did we get here, Anglophones? Because really what I'm trying to do is to help restore our image in this nation. That we don't end up with the situation where we experience something worse than what we've had in the past. And it is better that we call this to an end than saying the government crushed us. That is a terrible situation to end up with. But if we say we stopped it, you gain your respect in this nation. You'll be someone that will be respected in this nation. And that is exactly what I'm doing here. Because somehow maybe I've been talking, analyzing, giving speeches, and people don't understand what I'm doing right here because I'm looking at 100, 200, 300 years into the future. And what this situation today, if we don't resolve it in a strategic way, this is what is going to become of us. We will be looked at as people that don't think, don't reason. And maybe before these international organizations, they just watch something like maybe the president's speech that they said he declared war. He said, means these people don't even understand French. That is what they will assume, that there's no Anglophone that understands French. If the international community have watched the president's speech, which the secessionists claim that he declared war coming back from the airport. This is what they'll think, that we are really ignorant. And you think, no, maybe it's a logic that you're trying to put forth a case that can be heard and maybe somehow they will grant you your independence. But they look at this, they say these people are very dishonest people. And these people don't really understand what they want. But they will play around with you based on whatever you presented to them, just listening and watching you. But they will not engage. And I want to let you know, the white folks are good at engaging you in a conversation and you think that they are listening and they are for you. Now, I want you to take a listen to what most of our young people are saying right now of the president declaring war on us, coming down from the airport. My Anglophone brothers, there are better ways that we can create a case if we really wanted a war. A case that if anyone that is rational looks at it and say, these people have a valid claim. This is below us. We can't have the Anglo-Saxon culture, the Anglo-Saxon heritage. And then we go out and say the president declared war. And anyone that hears French or understands French and English will look at this and say, listen to what our young people are saying.
We know the phone here. Bamina man, they take up arms against your own people. Make we say we be Bamina man. Imagine say this thing the way our picking them they do, not correct. But imagine say this thing where our leader them they do, make we say not correct. If Podbia no declare war, our leader or our picking them therefore even exist? No.
If Paul Biya did not declare war, That is the statement on the lips of every Anglophone. My people, we went to school, we studied, we are smarter than this. We are smarter than this.
But it be the way where it day because they put it make Cameroon it make them. This is what they so if Cameroon no declare them, when I don't know Yaba. If Cameroon no declare them, when I no ADF. If Cameroon no declare them, me say I will know you. Now why that way I talk this one. So
if Cameroon did not declare war, you will not know who Ayaba is. And one thing that I want to say about these leaders, especially Ayabacho, you guys should be going after leaders in this dispensation that are creative. The idea called Ambazonian was not initiated by Ayabacho, was not initiated by Chris Ano or Sako. None of these individuals came up with the idea Ambazonian. In this 21st century, they didn't come up with anything that you can look at and say, this is an idea of someone who is a visionary, someone that can move this group of people forward. The idea Ambazonian was initiated by a lawyer, Goji Ndinka. He is the founder of that initiative. Now, the ban of the taxi colors in Bamenda was not initiated by Joe Ayaba. Someone else came up with the idea. We want creative people in this country, not just people who regurgitate words. It's like a memory bank that words just keep pumping out. We want creative people. And if you are a young, dynamic Anglophone that want to make something out of your life and you're not part of what we are doing here, you're missing out. You're following dogma. You're just running after a dead horse. Yeah, because this is the time where you have to start asking yourself certain questions. If you are reasonable and you understand what life is all about, you know that is your responsibility to initiate change in your nation. I want to let you know, if you're not part of CSDP, we have a free university here. We are not charging anyone. Come here, have perspective about life. I mean life, not just theories and dogma. From there, you get skills that can help you go out there and make a difference, make good money, and transform your country. We are partnering with our Francophone brothers, and together, we are moving the nation forward in a way that none of them have ever thought about before. And I just want to let you know, this is the biggest thing that Cameroon has ever seen. And if people don't understand how to navigate political systems, they don't know how to navigate the government in Cameroon, just stay on the side and watch us. If you've tried your entire life and failed, that is why God always brings up the next generation, because the next generation will come up with something different perspective, right? Just looking at your artists in Cameroon, Mr. Leo and the rest, they've come up in this dispensation and they have been able to produce music, songs that no Anglophone has ever produced and engaged the nation in this way. Take a look at what is happening right now in our entertainment scene. This should tell you something. Has any of these Anglophone leaders above the age of 40, have you seen in their generation be this creative? That is a question that I'm asking you. If you are thinking, if you're observing what is happening in your community, have you seen any of these Anglophone leaders you're running after in their time came up with something that engaged the nation, like the Mr. Leos, the Salatiers, the Kosi, all of these musicians, Jovi? Have you seen these leaders that you're running after produce anything in their dispensation that engaged the nation like this? I haven't seen it. And this should tell you that there is a new wind of change. If you're slow, you'll be left behind. Honestly. If you're slow, you'll be left behind. Let's keep listening.
I don't get time for even to talk for Una. Now for be away, we get time for the make material. When I don't see me, I say I want to retaliate by calling war into you people. The youth, when Seseko called people to go out on the 22nd of September 2017, people then go out for go march peacefully with Bibles and peace plan in their hands, as we and Tapang Ivo, we don't preach them. What happened for that day? They killed more than 200 youth. When they killed more than, now for the way Ayaba, he had go off on the 1st of October 2017. Millions of people go out as a Sekubi talk. They go for go march as people sabi for march for free people, liberty and freedom, pursuit of happiness. Now you were human being there for this ground.
A Cameroonian civil society organization has urged the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon to embark on a peaceful protest until the Demands of lawyers and teachers in the regions are met. The Cameroon Anglophone Civil Society Consortium on Wednesday.
Total independence, Ambazonian. That is lawyers and teachers marching. That is 2017. When you see this, do you think that the nation is that dumb? You think that our country is that dumb? I'm telling you guys, if you just observe the footage of the lawyers and the teachers going out marching, the demonstration, not supporting what the teachers and the lawyers were advocating for, it is a clear indication of the speech that the president made. Yeah, because the signs are out there. We can all read the signs. I'm saying, like, this is very cheap way of going about presenting a case that you are advocating for independence. There is no nation on earth watching this footage that will ever think that what you guys are fighting for is legit. Honestly, I just want to make that as clear as I can. There is no rational organization or nation that will look at this and get engaged. They will welcome you, listen to you, but no one will engage. It's just honestly, because we need somebody from us, right, to stand up and look at us and tell us the truth, that this thing you're doing is not going to take you anywhere. Yes, and that is how some brothers or sisters look at their junior brothers or junior sisters and tell them, you got to stop this. This is not taking you anywhere. Cut this bullshit. Just go out there and do something with your life. Stop wasting other people's time and wasting the lives of other young men. Cut this. If in your time you could not be creative enough to come up with something, let the young people do what they can do with their lives in this generation. They were not just going to follow dogma. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, let this be very clear.
Called for a sit-in strike to be held on January 9th, 2017 to continue the fight against the marginalization. They call on the people in the region not to...
Those are lawyers and teachers marching. Look at it.
Open their businesses, attend the market or school as they continue the protest. Late last year, Cameroon Security Services clashed with Anglophone protesters who were supporting teachers' strike against the imposition of French in school.
They were supporting teachers' strike. What does that placard say, my people? Stop brutalizing the Ambazonians. Federation or independence. When you are organizing a protest of this magnitude, do you look at the signs and what they represent before you march? Or is it that this whole idea of Ambazonia or federation was planned prior to the teachers and the lawyers going on the street? This is something we got to deal with. If this is what we planned, then this is a very myopic strategy to go about things the way we are doing right now. I want to be blunt with us, because no one will look at us in the face and tell us this except one of us. Yeah, this cheap. This is below us. We are better than this. With all the education that we've had? No.
In Anglophone parts of the country, ahead of the strike by the teachers, lawyers in the regions were on strike for 2 months after being ordered to use French in legal proceedings.
And he knew he was coming to do another declaration of war.
This is the speech. They said President Paul Biya was coming down from the airport and declared war on the Anglophones. This specific video, based on the interpretations of some of the Anglophones, led to the escalation of this crisis and where we find ourselves today.
J'ai appris avec émotion l'assassinat de 4 militaires camerounais et de 2 policiers dans le sud-ouest de notre pays. Suite à la disparition de ces 6 valeureux militaires et policiers, je voudrais présenter mes condoléances aux familles éprouvées, ainsi qu'à nos vaillantes forces de défense et de sécurité. Et je pense que les choses sont désormais parfaitement claires pour tout le monde. Le Cameroun est victime des attaques à répétition d'une bande de terroristes se réclamant d'un mouvement sécessionniste. Face à ces actes d'agression, je tiens à rassurer le peuple camerounais que toutes les dispositions sont prises pour mettre hors d'état de nuire ces criminels et faire en sorte que la paix et la sécurité soient sauvegardées sur toute l'étendue du territoire national. Je vous remercie.
This specific speech that President Paul Biya read in French, in English, it reads as follows. I learned with deep emotions the assassination of 4 soldiers and 2 police officers of the southwest region of our country. Due to the assassination of these soldiers, following the tragic loss of these brave soldiers and police officers, we extend our heartfelt condolence to the grieving family and as well those still defending the territory. It is now perfectly clear to us that Cameroon is a victim of repeated attacks of a group of criminals claiming to belong to a secessionist movement. In response to these acts of aggression, I want to reassure the Cameroonian people that all necessary measures are being taken to neutralize these criminals and ensure that peace and security are maintained throughout the entire national territory. When you listen to that speech, is there any statement which says, I declare war on the Anglophones? See, my people, this is not about emotion. We've lost more than 40,000 people. The same technique that was used to interpret the name changing from a unitary system to the Republic of Cameroon, and they assumed it was secession, is the same strategy that they have used and led you to this crisis that we all find ourselves in today. Behind the downfall of Anglophones is always another Anglophone.
Lift your hands up, please.
Okay. I just want to stop right there and say it is quite fascinating that our own people are our own enemies, but they claim to be our saviors. Do you know why these people come on their social media platforms to make speeches every day? To prime you. Because if they let you for 1 week, you will think and come to your senses. So they come on their social media platforms every day to make sure you do not escape. To prime you. There must be a member of an Ambazonian movement every day on social media to prime you, to condition you, to brainwash you, to keep you in the state that you keep thinking that no, something wrong has been done to you. That is why they do that. You see what President Paul Biya said? It's the same thing that the president of Kenya said. And you realize that the Ambazonian leaders jumped on the Kenyan situation to justify it, to explain it based on the narrative, to continuously prime you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You guys would have had a good life in Cameroon. I'm telling you, if not of these individuals from antiquity, sowing seeds of division and confusion in this country, Anglophones would have been fine in this nation, even though we are minority. I'm telling you, these smart people, remember, the scribes and the teachers of the law are the ones who conspired and killed Jesus. And that is why this majority thing, I don't believe in it at all. Majority, I'm ready to stand alone on what is right than join majority that are wrong. Majority said, send us Barabbas and crucify Jesus. Today, everyone thinks Barabbas would have been crucified and let Jesus go. Today, I want to ask you guys a question. Those who come here attacking me, have you thought for 1 minute that you might be doing the same thing? You might be crucifying Jesus and supporting Barabbas today. I want you to reflect. There's a reason why the words that are coming out of my mouth are being said in the way that you're hearing it. It's not comfortable. If anyone will tune your ears, you have itchy ears to hear something that will make you feel good. Independence is coming. I have something better for you. I have schools that we've created for you. Oh, we are going to sell the oil, split the money, and you have $2,500. If this priming itches your ear, and you feel like it's something good that they are promising you, that you see me as an enemy, you are the most misguided human being that I can think of. I guarantee you, because time will tell. Time will tell. Open your eyes, my people. This is your life. You have only one life. Don't come into this world and follow somebody because they are Anglophones. No. Follow somebody that knows what they are doing and has your best interest at heart. Those are the kind of people you follow in this world. I know we have grown in a community where if this person is from the Anglophone zone, then they are our brothers. No. There are only two types of people on earth. Two. There are good people and there are bad people. There is no Anglophone, there's no Francophone, there's no white person, there's no black person. There is just good people and there is bad people. That is all. If you go around the world looking at people based on your color, you are misguided and you will struggle to make progress on earth. Are they thieves who are Anglophones? Are they good people who are Anglophones? Yeah. Are they thieves who are Francophones? Yeah. Are they good people who are Francophones? Yeah. That is how you see the world. Don't look at the world based on Anglophone, Francophone. Don't look at the world based on this person came from our village. That is a very myopic way to look at the world. You are a Christian. Do you know how many organizations or nations around the world that are Christians? Do you know how many groups of people around the world that are Christians? Do you prefer your Anglophone brother that is not a Christian compared to your Francophone brother that is a Christian? This world is a world of ideologies, guys. Don't be confused by anything on the surface. This war is a war of ideologies. Most of your brothers and sisters that are advocating for Ambazonia are Pan-Africanists, and Pan-Africanists do not believe in God.
I am a Pan-Africanist. These same white people, when I said it's a colonial tool that Africa finds itself in the Christian space.
And that is it. And you don't know it because they are anti-West. And they believe the West brought the Bible. They are evil. They are anti-West. And so if you're a Christian and you're a Pan-Africanist, there is a contradiction automatically. If you are an Ambazonian and you are a Christian, there is a contradiction automatically. If you think that the world is divided in Anglophone, Francophone, and you are a Christian, you are contradicting yourself automatically. You see the world based on your values. And if you walk that way, you will make progress no matter where you find yourself. I've had incredible opportunities because of this belief system. And some of you, this might take you time to understand what I just said. No matter the community that I've gone into in America as a Christian, when I show up, I've been treated differently than showing up as someone from Africa or showing up as a black person. It's thinking, guys. The world today is divided and fragmented in psychographics, the way people think, not demography. The world is not divided between Africa and Europe, or white person and black person. No, the world is segmented between good and bad people. Those who believe in God and those who do not. Yes, we have a territory, but I want to let you know within that territory, you don't go into the same hall on Sunday with everybody in the Anglophone zone. And you don't go into the same hall with everybody on Sunday in the Francophone zone. Your beliefs does matter, because how you treat one another, how you love one another, even how you present an information like this authentically based on your belief. It's not, we can take this a little bit further, because it's not everybody that says Jesus that is a Christian. Yeah, there are many people that will say Jesus just to lure you into a trap and you think that they are Christians. No, a Christian is your lives, your words, how you feel about other human beings. Doing the right thing even when you feel like everyone is against you. That is a true Christian. Following God's law. That is a true Christian. If you're not operating in that dimension right now, this is a call of duty for you. This is a clarion call. I think that is a terminology we love a lot. It's a clarion call for you. So start thinking different.
What you waiting for? I have designed you.
Amen.
I have called you.
Yes, sir.
And you know it.
Yes, sir.
Lord, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Having done to stand therefore, and watch me open doors. Don't pull on the doorknobs.
Yes, sir.
And I want to let you know that is my spiritual father, one of the richest pastors in the United States of America. If you know of Kenneth Copeland is the richest pastor in the world. That is his very good friend, Jesse the Planters. And if you have not understood why I'm doing what I'm doing here, and he picked me out of the crowd and made this declaration over my life. I could keep reminding myself of this because God has the final say, not people. With agenda, God has the final say over that nation. Not some speech that someone will make. Not even the boys on the ground that have been deceived to lose their lives. God has the final say. And I'm saying this to the young people back home. If you're holding a gun, smoking weed, you're on crack, and you're watching my videos, keep watching. Even with the crack in your hands, keep watching. Even with the marijuana on your hands, keep watching the video. Somehow liberation will come. You'll be free completely from these tyrants. Don't give up. Stand strong. Trust God. And let God do the work in you. And you will find light for yourself. Yeah. I don't need to threaten you to drop the guns. You will discover what they are doing to you. You will. And you will be free. Real freedom. Freedom that will not cost your life. Jesus Christ has died for us all. You don't need to die for anyone or anything on earth. That is the biggest deception that people have conditioned you, and they will look at other nations in the war and say they fought wars. No, people have been misguided over time. War is the most barbaric form to achieve your goal. I think it should be eradicated from the face of the earth. Don't be deceived. Jesus Christ died on the cross for all of us. And his blood is sufficient to give you freedom. If anyone preaches another gospel except this, let that person be condemned. You are free. And you should not die to give anyone freedom. You are free. It is in the mind. You can be deceived by others to think you are not free. You are. You just need to study and learn how to navigate yourself through the world as a free person. You are free. And I declare that today to you, that you are free. If people fought for their freedom, why do they still have militaries and they have to protect their borders? If they fought for freedom and they got the freedom, why are you protecting your borders? You are free, my friends. I'm saying this to help us have perspective, because we are going somewhere together. The information that we have at our disposal today, we can transform our nation overnight. And none will die. And that is what we are pushing for right here. If they have tried and it's more than them, let go. God will always prepare the next generation. And they will come up with energy, skills, knowledge, information that they will push us one step forward. If you're done, stay on the side and watch us. No one should die. None. Not even the Francophone soldiers. There's enough for everybody on earth. When the purpose of something is not known, abuse is inevitable. That is what Miles Monroe says. When you don't know the purpose of why God allowed Francophones and Anglophones to come together, you abuse the people and abuse the nation. When you don't understand the purpose as to why this nation was created, abuse is inevitable. And you would think you are right in your own eyes. Take, for example, those who are fighting the West. Fighting the West for colonialism. Look at the English language that we speak today. If not for colonialism, how will we interact with each other? This is how you look at the situation and you thank God even for the colonialism. That is what the Bible means by all things work together for the good of they that trust the Lord and accord according to his purpose. If not for colonialism, if you are speaking Batibo and another person is speaking Bafut, I'm speaking Mankon, how are we going to interact with each other perfectly? You look at this and you thank God. This language that we speak that unifies us is a great asset. Look at all of the Ambazonian leaders. They speak this language to confuse you, to manipulate you, and you think they are smart and they are intelligent. My question to you is, if we did not speak this language, how would our communication look like? Come on, think for a minute. And this is how I think. This is how I make sense of my reality. Right? The so-called resources they are talking about, if we were not speaking English, guys, one tribe would have destroyed another tribe. You can see that happening on the ground. We thank God for this language that we speak today. Chinese people that we do business with, they wish they speak this language. They wish they understand English good. And this is an asset that we have. And we are looking at resources on the ground. And we are not looking at human resource. If what you know in your head has not been working for you, this is time to listen to what I'm saying. If what you have been doing is not working for you, this is time to listen to what I'm saying. And I'm saying this to say, this man of God laid hands on my head and said, there are things that I will say. There are things that I will do. There are things that God has called only me to do. And I know it, and it's a fact. This is a man of God that believes in progress and prosperity. And he laid hands over my head and said, go and do the work God has called you to do. And that is what I'm bringing to Cameroon. The same dimension of prosperity for us all. We will be free. People think it's all about skills. It's all about education. No, there is an element of divine favor and grace that comes with progress and prosperity. And that is what our nation will experience in our lifetime. All of this dark cloud will be over. They come to condition you, tell you who to listen to, who not to listen to. You got to choose today who you're going to serve. It is a choice you have to make. Has their system been working for you? Have you gained more properties and more people because of their strategy? Or have you lost more people and property because of their strategy? It is that easy to distinguish between good and evil. Under their leadership, even the president that they claim is a tyrant, we've never lost this number of people. But their idea and the manipulation of the president's speech that you just heard has led us where we find ourselves today. You think individuals that will start like this will teach you the right thing, have your best interests at heart, and help you achieve freedom? You really think so? When we start on truth, when we build on truth, guys, we can guarantee that the house will be erected properly. When we build on a foundation that is full of lies and manipulation, we will struggle. And that is my message to the people of Cameroon. You take it or you leave it, or you choose to follow dogma. It is a deliberate choice. And my question to you, looking at what is happening with the Ambazonian leaders. Today, Chris Ano is fighting Che Ayaba. Today, Che Ayaba is fighting with Capo Daniel. Today, one leader is fighting with another leader, and we have seen this on social media. You think these individuals have your best interests at heart, and are you thinking right now? You got to reflect. You must think. You cannot abdicate from thinking. It is the greatest asset that God has blessed you. You care, sit in your own corner and talk about how clever you are, and we are not making no progress, and you think that, oh, you guys got it all figured out. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is how I look at life. This is reality. We cannot just go around trying to claim like we got it all together, and we don't. We don't got it together. We got to accept and be humble and learn. For example, look at sports. We claim that the national team in Cameroon is unfair. We've been having Cameroonians that are Anglophones travel abroad. None of them have played for any of this European team to the level that we've seen the Francophones playing. Yet we'll claim that we are the most hardworking people. We gotta face the reality. Look at even the boxers. Look at Francis Ngannou. The great athletes. It's just now that we are getting into music, and this is the reality about our existence. But yet we always claim we are the smartest people. We just go to that school, sit down, regurgitate that information. There is no way to apply it in the real world and be able to create something for ourselves or get income out of what we've learned. And yet we keep going there and we think maybe just studying and learning makes us smart and so others are dumb. Look at the greatest athletes, the greatest musicians in Cameroon have always come from the Francophone zone. Right now, our brothers realize, no, these people are playing us. And they decided to start singing in French, singing in English, singing in Pidgin, and they have been able to make significant progress. Every Cameroonian youth, open your eyes and see what is happening. Do not be blind. Do not. I came here to wake us up, to open our eyes. Francamglais is the new thing. Singing in French and English and Pidgin, mixing it all together, and they are becoming celebrities, and you're watching, you're not thinking that I can take this same strategy, apply it in the products and services that I'm creating or that I'm producing. You are there watching and following dogma. Open your eyes. Open your eyes to what is happening right before you. Be smart. It is your time. And that is what God called me over this nation. Yeah. To open your eyes to see the same things that have been happening right before your eyes and you don't pay attention to. And God said, just spark your curiosity so that you can open your eyes and see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, and that is the anointing over my life to wake us up.
I'll put the doors, they'll be like supermarket doors. Before you get to them, they'll open up.
The doors will be like supermarket doors. That is the declaration about my life. And as I'm opening this door, if you want to walk through, it's up to you. If you want to stay behind, the doors will be closed. And you have no place in what we are doing here. If you do not stand up and be smart and open your eyes, right? God will not call someone from the sky to come help you. He will always raise someone from within you. You got to come to terms with that. If the progress is what you seek, or is the individual that you're seeing, you got to choose. If you don't care about the progress, then that's fine. You go ahead and continue doing what you're doing. And this is the reason why I want to say this and make it clear. Yes, I have empathy for poor people. I do have empathy. But guess what? People make a lot of choices that lead them to where they find themselves in life. Most people. And if you come show them the path to success, they will argue. They will tell you, no, that's not the way. They know, but it's not working for them. What they know is not working for them, but they will say they know what they need to do. They know why they are there. And that is why when you look at them in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, and they are old and nothing is changing in their lives, and you look at them, yes, I'm empathetic. It's not a good thing that any human being should find themselves in this place. But guess what? At the same time, you got to breeze yourself. And like, okay, I see it. That is why when Jesus Christ was being told, why do you allow this woman to put this perfume on your leg? Don't you know we would have sold this perfume and take the money and give to the poor? That is what they told Jesus. Jesus said, you will always have the poor among you. Let her do what she's doing. Because this is how some people go around attacking those who are wealthy, attacking those who are rich. Some people will continuously make decisions in spite of corrections, in spite of you telling them this way is going to lead you nowhere. They will keep doing it and expecting a different result. And tomorrow they will say, hey, which movement is going on to blame the government or blame some systems or blame someone else as to why they are where they are? And they will join those movements and be able to share their grievances as to why they've been dealt the wrong hand. And I'm rising up today to make sure that you don't make the same mistake. And if we all unite and walk towards a common goal, tomorrow when you are in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, you will not be crying the same cry that we see these leaders abroad doing right now. You will not be singing this song if you take action right now, deliberate action, and walk towards your future. They've conditioned you in a way that if you step into the ministry or any ministry in Cameroon, you are already conditioned to think that your plight will be rejected. No one will accept you. I want to let you know your success in life, guys, is predicated on what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the God in you, what you believe about who you are is everything. I say this most of the time, 90% is attitude, 10% is skill. And you say, oh, you got all the skills, you're hardworking. No, that's not enough. Your attitude does matter. There are some Pharisees and Sadducees that work really hard, but they could not be part of Jesus' terrain. They could not be part of Jesus' crew. Why? because of their thinking. So your attitude is everything towards life. Everything.
Amen. You'll walk in and then they'll close behind you. Amen. I'm going to protect your front and I'm going to protect your back.
Amen, sir.
Because see, I've called and destined some things in your mouth that only you can do.
Yes, sir.
People will begin to say some things. Close your ears to those things.
Yes.
And I'm closing my ears to anything that anyone is saying, because time will tell. Time will tell what we are doing here. So I'm not listening to any distractors. If you think that you are an opposition, stop wasting your calories. Stop wasting your time, because it's not going to help, right? Yes. Why are you threatened, right? If you feel like what I'm doing has no value, go meet your leaders and support their movement. Time will tell. Time will tell what we are doing here. Yeah. Time will tell. Go support them and keep pushing and keep hoping. Time will tell.
Because in the end, saith the Lord, my will be accomplished.
God's will will be accomplished in me and in the people of Cameroon. If you do not believe God, that is up to you. Time will tell. Time will tell.
In you and in them. Just put him down, boy. Just hold on. People, lift your hands up. Bless the Lord. Just put him down there, boy. Come on. Thank the Lord. Isn't that good?
You will not want.
So that is the same anointing over Oyedepo in Nigeria. I bring that comparison to show you where God is taking us. He did it through me for us. It's not about me, it's about the people of Cameroon. It's not about me, it's about us achieving genuine freedom. That is Oyedepo in Nigeria, that is Kenneth Copeland. The friend Jesse Duplantis is the one who laid hands on my head. And I'm showing you where the anointing is coming from. And God is about to do something amazing in Cameroon. And he's showing us that there's a purpose why he let the Anglophones and the Francophones come together. And that purpose has not been achieved because of distraction. And in this generation, he's uniting us like never before, because after a crisis like this is when true unity comes and we will move forward and make progress with our Francophone brothers. That is what we are pushing for. That is what we stand for. And that is where we are going. Forward ever and backward never. We must respect those who came before us. Someone should not appear from the sky. They are not teachers and they are not lawyers. And they were not the ones marching. And today you're following them. Doesn't make sense. Now I want us to look into the situation in Kenya. I want us to analyze the Kenyan protest and have perspective and also benchmark what is happening in Kenya with what is happening in Cameroon. Does that make sense? And this is how we learn. This is how we analyze a situation. The reason why you see me looking at things this way, besides the grace of God over my life as a business analyst, this is how we make sense of business problems. That's why you see some people succeed in business and others don't. That's why you see some people making it in business, some people blame only the government, right? And others don't look at it like, what did I do? And what mistakes did I make? How can I make adjustments so that I can be able to make progress? They don't ask that question. No, someone else is to be blamed. And this is how I analyze a situation. And that's why I said, no. Oh, how did we get to Ambazonian? No, we were talking about teachers and lawyers. Can we come back here? Can we solve the problems that the teachers and the lawyers went on the street? Can we push for this problem till it is solved? Not just going around and because we've had individuals in the community feeding us with the idea of SCNC and independence for a very long time. And somehow we cannot just catch our breath and think for 1 minute. But this is where we were going. The teachers and the lawyers. How did we get here? How come this individual emerged as a leader of a secessionist movement and we start following them? No, we are rational people. We come back to what started the whole fight. Can we push for this and ensure that these people achieve what they wanted? And let all our placards talk about this problem. Those are smart citizens that know what they are doing and can push forward and do other great things. But if we start like this, nah. So listen to what the Kenya Minister of Defense is saying. It's very, very important. You can choose to listen to the Kenyan authorities, the protesters, or individuals who hijacked the movement. That is all. In Cameroon, we have chosen to listen to those who hijacked the movement, not those who were protesting, not the government. These are two different groups. There are individuals who were protesting. There is the government that was supposed to hear their plight. And there are secessionists that infiltrated the movement. And today we are all listening to these secessionists because they've amassed weapons, stir our emotions, sway us to a direction, and now we are following them. And we don't even take a deep breath and ask questions. That is what we should do in this generation. And I'm waking us up so that we ask these questions, have perspective, and be able to catch our breath and just think a little bit. And then like, oh, what have you been doing?
The Gen Zs, our valuable, beautiful voices. There's another critical mass of people who are running, who are in the social media space, and they are not in the country. Miguna is one of them.
The man with the same name twice.
And you can't do a regime change through Twitter space.
You think the Gen Zs have been hijacked? The whole movement has been hijacked?
Oh yes, themselves are saying. They said we are tribeless, we are leaderless. I mean, is Boniface Mangi Gen Z? Is Miguna Gen Z? Is Bobby Owino Gen Z? Is Sifuna Gen Z? Is Kalonzo Musyoka and Kioni and Wamalwa? Who do they represent? Gen Z said, you don't represent us.
Right.
So that is the question. Teachers and lawyers. Ducho Ayaba, Sako, Chris Anu, do they represent the teachers and the lawyers? Is that who they represent? Without these questions, we cannot make progress. If you watch what is happening in Kenya carefully and how they will solve that problem, you'll be able to handle the problem in Cameroon easily. I'm so glad that what is happening right now in Kenya is happening at the same time when we are going through what we are going through in Cameroon. And I believe that God is in this, so that we will have perspective to solve even our own problems. If we don't have a template to look at, this is a clear template. I love how the people of Kenya are handling this issue. The Gen Zs had a legitimate claim. The teachers and lawyers in Cameroon had a legitimate claim. And now they're asking the questions. These individuals on social media, are they Gen Zs? To Cameroon, my question, all these individuals that you listen to and take instructions from, are they teachers and are they lawyers? Are they a representative of the teachers and the lawyers? If we cannot ask this question, then I don't know what we are really doing with our lives. Honestly, truth be told. And no hard feelings. I pray even for these individuals. I pray for Ayaba. I pray for Sako. I pray for all of these individuals. I pray that somehow God help these individuals in whatever mission that they have against our people. I'm praying for them. Praying for them. Even as we are fighting so hard, I'm still praying. The way our people are talking today, I'm confused. The kind of words that are coming out of our mouth, I'm confused. Were we not talking about teachers and lawyers? These individuals that you wake up every day and listen to, do they represent teachers and lawyers? They say they declared war. The speech you just heard, is that a declaration of war? Everyone who goes about saying they declared war, have you listened to the speech? Do you understand French? We trusted the interpreter. And the interpreter is not a teacher. The interpreter is not a lawyer.
And let me tell you one thing. I am so happy about the discussion in our country today, brought about by these vital, valuable voices of our young people.
Yeah, but they keep saying Ruto must go. Hashtag Ruto must go.
But they're the ones who are saying Ruto must go are the same people who are saying before the elections, Ruto will not become the president. Some of them are in the political class, in the previous regime, in the opposition, and they have not recovered from that Ruto is now the president.
Do you see what I'm saying? The individuals who pick up those placards did not represent the teachers and lawyers. They sneaked into the crowd and had that plaque out. And there was a camera film that, and that is what the country gets to see. And I'm just helping you to say, because they will find every way to tell you, no, it was not a public agent. When you look at those people holding the placard, they will say it's a lot of public agent. They will look for a way to always twist things and keep you in this loop and confuse you so you waste your life. You've lost properties, lost villages. The government's responsibility is to secure peace. And you've seen what has happened in Kenya. They realized that there were individuals like this in the midst of the protesters. And they stood up to defend the same protesters and make sure that the people were safe. Yes, there were some casualties. And this is what happens when people go out on the street marching and individuals who want to hijack the movement get in and start distracting the people. You hear that? Ruto must go. Ruto must go. And the question he's asking, that Ruto must go, is it something that the Gen Zs invented? And the answer is no. Individuals from the opposition party invented the slogan, Ruto must go. And they've infiltrated these words in the mouth of the Gen Zs, and they are using it without understanding who created it. Just like they heard the idea of let's ban taxi color. And then Cho Ayaba picked it up and then start saying, oh, I've looked at the policy, I'm refining it, I'm articulating it. And you just hear that and you think like, whoa, this is something he came up with. And he stood so strong on it and everybody's against it. And like, okay, this is what I've chosen and it works. The policy makes sense. And individuals who are not creative just go around and, man, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan for the people? Okay, because you feel like if this thing doesn't happen, life is going to be over for you. And that is the reason why you're pushing this way. Guys, are you understanding what is going on here? We want creative leaders in the Anglophone zone. People that can have a vision, that they articulate that vision and take us there. Their vision. Ambazonian is not your idea. I repeat that again. Ambazonian is not your idea. It's Gordon Dinka's idea. Which idea did your generation come up with? Which idea did your generation come up with? You guys are following dogma. And we are coming in this generation with new vision, new ideas, new ways of looking at all problems. And we are dispelling every myth that you guys are presenting to us because we cannot take this in anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you still have a kind of thinking that somehow Cameroon will separate tomorrow, wake up from this sleep. Wake up. Take your destiny in your hands and do not associate with individuals because they come from the Anglophone zone. Associate with good people. Associate with people who have your best interests at heart.
And Ruto is changing the country. Well, how is he changing the country? Ruto works from 6 a.m. in the morning to midnight. He doesn't drink. Ruto...
Are you saying drinking is bad?
No, drinking is bad for leaders if you overdrink. You can't run the affairs of state. Even me, if I'm chewing mirror, I can't run the Ministry of Defense, my friend.
And I'm just liking what he's saying, right? This is how we make sense of our problem. People who have never worked for the government, become president, never ran a country before, don't understand what it means to have the weight of the nation on your shoulders, are giving you instructions and you're following them. You believe in them. You've seen how they cannot hold themselves together, right? But they think they can hold a nation. They can start a nation. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? This is time for us to wake up. Stop wasting time. The time God has given you on earth is very limited. Make use of it. Are you guys following what I'm saying? It is high time you get to the place where you say, I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for my nation. I'll not keep asking what my nation can do for me. No, what can I do for my nation? That is a good question. And this is what I'm saying. Do you know the contracts that President Amadou Ahidjo signed with foreign nations before President Paul Biya took over? Do you know that? Probably you don't. Do you know the struggles that the government of Cameroon has been dealing with because of that? I'm sure you don't know that. Do you know how to manage state budget? You probably don't know that. Do you understand what it takes to run a country? I'm not saying that the government is 100% perfect. I'm far from that. But I want to let you know, African presidents are struggling. The situation they find themselves in is tough. Stop looking at yourself too much. step back and ask questions and look at the big picture and ask yourself the question, what could these people be going through that we don't know? If you've never led any organization, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about here. I'm saying this because I've led people before. And I understand what it means to lead people. Have you stepped back and asked yourself the question, what could this leader be going through? This will change your energy towards your country and everything will turn around for good for you. Leaders or presidents are human beings like you. They are parents like you. They have a life like you. If you have run a nation before and you understand what it takes to run a nation, you can critique them. But if you have not, stay quiet. You guys cannot unite yourselves, even abroad, for 7 to 8 years. And you think you can run a nation. Keep quiet. Challenge yourself, just unite. If not for independence, just unite. Be one. You guys said, oh no, we are fine, we are together, we are fine. No, how can you guys be fine when someone will come up with the policy, another one is criticizing that policy, and they go on to say, kill the people from this other camp, and you guys are united? This is what Tibo Nagy told you, that this division will not help you. You will fail. So be united. You said, no, we are fine. We are divided, but we are moving together as one. Guess what? Today, one person comes up with a taxi color policy. Another person objects and says, if a member of the ADF comes out and say, change the color of your taxi, kill them. And this is unity, and we are moving forward for a struggle that you guys all believe in. Are you guys understanding? When they told you that this division is an impediment and you rejected it and you said, no, you know too much. They made a mistake, right? The British make a mistake. You guys are smart. You know better. Are you guys understanding? But I don't blame them at all. My people, if you're following this, you have yourself to be blamed. If you're listening to these individuals, you have yourself to be blamed. If they represent the teachers and lawyers, keep listening to them. If they are part of the teachers union or the lawyers union that went out on the street marching and they wanted reform, keep following them. If not, step back and ask yourself this question. It is time to think. If we want to talk about marginalization, you can go into a history book and pick up any case and start a war. Anyone can do that. You can go right now into your history books, look at how Nigerians treated your parents, and launch war against Nigeria. You can go back into your history book and look at any case that you did not like of how it played out, and you can start war today. That is why this kind of idea is too myopic. You understand what I'm saying? They close your dam, they close your banks. You can go into history books and pick up any case. Any tribe in the Northwest or the Southwest can go back into the history books and look at a particular war that they fought and say, I'm not satisfied with what happened and our land has been confiscated. We want to launch a war against this other tribe. You can start anything. You can rise up today and say, guess what? Look at colonialism. Let's start war against white people. Anything. You can go into history books and pick any case in your history book and start a war. And that is why we don't deal with that. You don't deal with that. Logical people, if you look at the world and you are realistic and you have the fear of God in your heart, you cannot do that. Deal with what we are trying to solve. We are trying to solve the Anglophone teachers and lawyers that went on the street marching. Let's stay there and solve that problem. Away with all this distraction. And this is how you make sense of your reality. Do not be confused. And the Kenyan people are going to handle this case professionally. Whatever the Gen Zs are demanding, their rights will be granted. The president will work with them and make sure that their rights or whatever they are demanding for will be granted. But to follow this dogma, Ruto must go, now we want a civil war, all of that, they would dismiss it really fast because the people are smart. And I think we can copy from them and make adjustments right now and fix our country. And not end up with the situation where they will say they crushed us in battle. No, we realized ourselves, we made adjustments. To surrender doesn't make you weak. Because if you're thinking that way, then you won't make progress. To surrender doesn't make you a weak person. You're a brave person. You just realized who you are and you're willing to make progress. You'll save lives and you'll be able to secure a better future for yourself in Cameroon. That is my message for you.